Hey, welcome back. Today, I want to talk about something we all think we understand, but honestly, many of us are still trying to figure it out. Friendship. I've had friends through all the stages of my life. I mean, from primary school, secondary school, and growing up, I've had friends of different kinds, of different behaviors. And I mean, we all do. We all have friends at those stages of our life. And when we look at friendship as an important aspect of our life, which it really is, friendship is a big part of the life. I mean, there's this Kinyarwanda saying which say, "Mbwira uwo mugendana, ndakubwira uwo uriwe," which means, tell me who you work with, I'll tell you who you are. Which means these friendships define us, they play a big part. And we have seen in the past generations, friendships have taken different natures. I mean, if we look at the boomers, people who were born from 1946 to 1964, around those period, the friendships were more selective. I mean, people were starting to go to corporate jobs, people were starting to go to study. I mean, you could have friends you meet in those circumstances. Friends were people from school, neighbors, church, work, and bonds were still strong, but a little more segmented, which means you could be close because you were put there by the situations of your life. If we go close to millennials, for the people who were born around 1981 to 1996, this is where things started shifting hard. It started getting complicated. People were becoming modernized and the internet was being introduced. Um, we started experiencing digital friendships. You could keep up with someone for years without even having to see each other physically, and you still call that friendship. Media and the internet made connections easier but also shallower, which means the friendships become broader but not deeper. You couldn't connect with someone, I mean, on that deep basis, that kind of level you feel like you could give up a lot for that kind of a friend. I mean, it's not that deep friendship, but it's there and with so many people. And friendships today is fast, fluent, and flexible. That's what I can say in 3 words: fast, fluent, and flexible. We bond over shared memes, memories, values, playlists, or chats. I mean, we've been chatting for a while now, so we call it friendship. A Gen Z friendship might start on TikTok, and then the conversation continues on Instagram, and then deepen on Facebook or whatever. And over a little disagreement, that friendship ends just right there. So, as Gen Zs, which I also am, our friendship language is digital fluency and emotional availability. That's what one might say about the friendships in this era of Gen Zs. So you see, every generation shapes the friendship according to what is there at the time, what is available at the time. There is these different aspects that affect the nature of friendships that happen in every generation, which might be evolvement in technology, evolvement in social norms, opinions change, the flow of information, the things that people can know easier. And understanding that helps us know what we personally value in a friend today. Anyway, whatever generation it is, whatever the circumstances, that thing that brings people together and makes them correlate for a moment, we call it friendship. But do we even know what that means anymore? I mean, with that noise, with all those connections, how do you even know who is real? How do you even know who is worthy of being called a friend to you? That's what I want to share with you today. A way to read room early, because before you know it, you have invested a lot of efforts, a lot of time, a lot of energy in a bad relationship or friendship. And some of those resources are scarce. You don't have to waste any of those in different times. So it might sound a little off at first, but trust me, it could save you a lot of time, energy, and resources. Let me put you onto a trick. This might sound a little bit toxic, maybe, but again, kind of genius. Let's get into it. If you want to earn quality friendships, quality partnerships, quality relationships, and avoid later on falling into pitfalls you didn't notice from the start, here's the trick. When you are starting a new relationship, be it friendship, be it romantic, be it business, anything, try this. Be openly generous. By this, I mean make your time, energy, attention, and in some cases, even money, make them all freely available, even support. Like put everything you have on the table. And I know this sounds risky, but here is why it works. That vulnerability becomes a filter. You know, it means you have to remember this is a vetting process. You are trying to learn if that person is worthy of your genuine friendship, genuine relationship, genuine partnership, or whatever. After putting all you can offer on the table, I mean, like freely, you will see clearly what that person is here for. If I came to your life looking for money and I see that you give money carelessly, I wouldn't think about, being relentless about asking you for money. I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be hesitant. Oftentimes, people tend to feel welcome. People tend to enjoy that kind of welcome. And right from the start, you will see that I came to your life looking for money. And when I am looking, when I'm looking, for example, like your time and you make your time abundantly available, I tend to cross those limits, those boundaries, and try to take most of your time as you offer it. So you will easily notice and know what that person is there for. Now pay attention. If they lean in, but only to take, and they never really pour back into you, that is your sign. And no, that's not being paranoid. It's about being aware. It's awareness, isn't it? True friendships are built on reciprocity. It's not about keeping score like I did this, you should do this, But let's be real. You can feel when someone is just there to eat, but never to help you to cook. Let me repeat it again. You can feel when someone is there to eat, but never to help you to cook. It's obvious, right? The people who genuinely care, they will show up with action. They will check up on you, invest in the bond, and match your energy. I mean, in their own way. It doesn't have to be that when I did this, you should do the same. In their own way, they will have a way to reciprocate the efforts that they see you are putting into the bond, into the friendship. Others, they will just coast and they will keep costing until you burn out, until you are out of those resources. I mean, time is limited, money is limited. Every resources you have on you, most of them are limited, which means these people will stay around just to eat. Let me say it in that sense, until you run out of those resources, and this is toxic. So here is my advice: when you see that pattern, decide. If it's mutual and meaningful, I mean, go all in, it's okay. But if it's draining you, step back. Don't wait for that big fallout. I mean, letting go isn't failure, it's peace. And no, this isn't about playing games or manipulating people. It's about clarity. It's protecting your resources, your time, your energy. Friendships should fill you up, not leave you empty. So when that pattern keeps happening and happening and happening again, you will end up empty, out of time, out of resources, out of energy. You know, it's It's draining. So ask yourself, if the relationship with this person is going to define me in, let's say, 2 years or 3 years ahead, who will I be? Do you understand? When someone is running energy out of you, and who will you be in 2 years? Someone with no energy. So you have to look at the long picture. And oftentimes we've been led into false relationships. But you know what? You've connected with someone, and for instance, if it's the opposite sex, they are cute, they try their best to make a good impression, and it's cool to hang around them, but look at the long picture. Who are you gonna be with that person around? And on the other hand, what are you contributing to their life? Are they someone you can walk a long way, 10 plus years, 15 years, and maybe look back and say, okay, this person have been additional to my life and not a ghost. This is totally 100% my opinion. I am not a psychology professional. I am not a medical professional or whatever. I'm just saying this based on my little experience, the little experience I had with friends. I might want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Say it in the comment section. Ciao, ciao. Lastly, like always, I want to thank and give a big shout out to my production team. Thank you for bringing out, making this happen. It's not easy with the production and juggling it along with the other tasks we have at hand. It's not easy. It's never easy. But trust me, they do it perfectly and they can do the same for you if you want. And I want to thank our amazing community on different platforms. I mean, seeing your number growing empowers us. That's why I encourage you to share, like, and subscribe and give us your thoughts in comments, guys, please. Thank you.